Welcome back, and before you get all excited and hyped up that Cardano is coin burning, hear me out, because did you know that Cardano is actually taxing your ADA at a 20% rate right now, and actually the rewards that you're receiving in staking pools through the staking mechanism, which helps secure the proof of stake blockchain Cardano, the treasury is getting 50% of what you are getting in your rewards. Let's get into this. Let's break it all down, and let me explain why I believe a better mechanism is a coin burn for Cardano. Because if you're not aware of this 20% tax, you guys need to pay attention to this video, and don't forget to give the video an absolutely free thumbs up. It lets me know you guys enjoy this kind of content. Also hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. We upload every single day of the year since 2018, going over 5 years every single day to bring you the latest happening in the crypto space and especially in the Cardano space. Now, for some reason, the coin burning mechanism and this conversation about whether Cardano should or should not coin burn is so controversial, right? I actually think that the majority of everyday users actually agree with a Cardano coin burn. I think it's more of the engineers that don't agree with it. But when we actually look at the numbers, I'm going to show you guys why you are actually being fleeced by this tax. Now, the Smaug pool from Cardano, they have over 11,000 followers. They're a builder and creator on Cardano. I guess they created Pool PM, which is another metrics site for Cardano, and they own the Smaug pool. They wrote on X, the Cardano treasury is taxed at 20% instead of the 5% that was initially planned by IO Global in the early days. In practice, the effective treasury tax is currently closer to 33%. So approximately 30 million ADA is added to the treasury every single month. Now I'm going to break down how this actually affects you and what can be done to adjust this, right? Now, it's really important that you guys understand. There's 3 main numbers that you guys need to be aware of. One is the circulating supply of ADA. The circulating supply of ADA is what the ADA price is valued at, right? So this shows you how much ADA is accessible. And currently, the number of ADA that is accessible, if you look at cexplorer.io, it's about 36.34 billion ADA, right? The maximum supply is another metric that you need to know. The maximum supply of all the ADA ever in existence will be 45 billion, right? So the difference between what's circulating, what's available, and that maximum supply goes back to what the reserves are, right? So there's about 8.6 billion ADA in reserves that are going to be slowly released into the ecosystem through the treasury, through rewards of staking, etc. And so right now, when I'm recording this video at least, the ADA treasury is about 1.4 billion ADA, okay? But that's not the number. I'm not really so concerned at how much ADA is in the treasury as far as more I'm concerned of how much is being added to the treasury, right? Because the whole idea of coin burning is to slowly reduce the supply of the coin over time. That way, one, the price is going to go up with a coin burn, right? This is what we see with stock buybacks, right? For some reason, Cardano people who are against a coin burn, it's for 2 reasons. One, they say, Cryptoviser, you burn your coin. I'm not burning my coin. You burn your coin. It's like, that's not how coin burning works. Or 2, they're like, no, we're not going to burn coins just to bring the price of the coin up. It's like, well, why do you develop on the protocol? Why do you own the coin? Why do you stake the coin, right? To get more coin so that you have more value, right? But without this coin burning mechanism and with this 20% tax, you personally are being taxed 50% in your rewards, okay? So how does this actually break down? How does it break down? Well, if you look at Earn Coin Pool, they have a Cardano parameter proposal change in the Cardano forum, which you guys can see right here. And it says the TAU, which is the treasury tax. The TAU parameter sets the rate of tax that is used to grow the treasury. The current treasury tax, or TAU, is set to 20%. The treasury tax is applied before the reward calculation and distribution. So the entire epoch reward pot is taxed first. Okay, so let me explain what that means. Every epoch, all the stake pools that earned that basically produced a block for Cardano's blockchain, they will get rewards, and the rewards come from the treasury, right? But what they're saying is before the pools get rewards, the entire pot of whatever's going to be distributed is taxed 20%. The current balance of the treasury is 1.38 billion ADA. Looking at the last 12 epochs, right? An epoch is approximately 5 days. Looking at the last 12 epochs, Earn Coin Pool says they started with epoch 431 all the way up to 443. The average growth of the treasury is approximately 5 million ADA per epoch, okay? The remaining rewards go to delegators and stake pool operators, and that's approximately 10 million ADA per epoch. Think about this, okay? Just at a high level, the stake pools that are receiving rewards, they're going to get 10 million ADA, and the treasury is getting 5 million ADA, okay? Now, that is a 33% tax because 66 or 67% is going into the stake pools, and then 33% is going to the treasury, right? But if you actually look at it, if you were the stake pool operator for all the blocks in the epoch, you're getting 10 million ADA, and the treasury is getting 5 million. So technically, you are getting taxed 33%, but the treasury is getting 50% of what's being distributed to the rest of the stakers and the stake pools. So it's technically at the high level a 33% tax, but in reality, you are losing 50%. Or let me rephrase, you can get 50% more if they were not putting that ADA into the treasury. Do you think that that's a lot of ADA going into the treasury? Well, we got to understand, what does the treasury actually do? Right now, really, the treasury is just there for Project Catalyst funding, right? Funding of new developers in the ecosystem. But as I've explained, we're now in November of 2023, we're going into Fund 11 for Project Catalyst, which means there's 10 previous funds. We know from the September 2023 Project Catalyst funding round, less than 10% of all the ADA in circulation actually voted, so that's low participation there. Number two, they distributed 50 million ADA, 50 million ADA to these projects, 192 projects. So if you annualize that to the 10 previous projects, okay, let's do the math right here on screen. And by the way, if you are following what I'm saying, please let me know down below in the comments. I try to make this as easy as possible to understand, but there's always a few that, like, they'll watch maybe the first 5 seconds of the video and they say, Cryptoviser, how can you be talking about coin burning? We didn't even get to the coin burning yet in this video. So make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think about all of this below, because this is important that you understand, like, what is happening to your value, right? We know the US dollar, they just keep printing and printing and printing and printing and printing. That's never going to stop. So we know that our dollars are going to continue to get devalued, but is our ADA getting devalued? And this is very difficult to see in a bull market, because in bull markets, the prices are going higher, right? We didn't really understand the actual Cardano price potential during the last cycle, because FTX was doing so much manipulation. Until we realized how much market manipulation FTX was actually doing, I was like, shit, Cardano could have hit $10 during the 2021 cycle, but it only hit $3, probably because of FTX. So in bull markets, it's very hard to identify that you're actually not getting to the valuation that you should be, because the prices just keep going up. But if there's a lot of dilution going on as well, the price is not going up as much as you thought. Anyway, so let's just do the math on this. So if we had 10 funding rounds at about 50 million per round, that means that we distributed 500 million ADA since Project Catalyst began. 500 million ADA. What value did we actually get out of that? If we times that by 0.3, which is the current price of ADA, it's $150 million. We have no cross-chain bridges. We have no interoperability with Ethereum, Solana, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Polygon, no USDC built on Cardano. I mean, there is a lot of in my view, questions of where the money is going and what is it actually doing. This is one of the reasons I don't hold ADA, by the way, because I don't believe that the tokenomics makes sense right now. And this is another example of that, right? Because in my view, if they're going to keep this tax rate at 20%, let's just say, right? Now there's this proposal that I just showed you somewhere here. Yeah, this proposal. They're talking about reducing the tax to 5%, which would bring the, right now, approximately 30 million ADA is being added to the treasury every month. Okay, so that's 5 million times four, no, times basically six epochs per month, approximately. So 6 times 5 million ADA is 30 million ADA. So what went actually to stakers? Well, 10 times 6 is 60. So 60 million went to stakers, 30 million went to the treasury. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. And if we had USDC, we had interoperability bridges, we had interoperability with Polygon, Ethereum, Internet Computer Protocol, Avalanche, Arbitrum, then I would say, okay, but there's no connection. I've gone over this over and over. There is no interoperability. Now, there's going to be some people in the comments saying, but Cryptoviser, what about WanChain? What about IBTC? Nobody uses those, right? We need USDC on Cardano integrated, right? But anyway, in my view, what would be a better, because all this 5 million ADA per epoch or 30 million ADA per month, this is just effectively dilution of your coin, because all of these coins are going to projects that are developing. And what are they going to do? They're going to sell the ADA to continue to develop whatever project they're developing, right? Or not, right? Maybe they're just going to run off with the money. Who knows, right? There's just so many projects. It's kind of hard to keep track of all of them. And are they actually producing anything? I mean, the general consensus is no, right? They did 192 projects were funded in September 2023. So if we times that by 10 funding rounds, that's about anywhere between 1,500 projects and 2,000 projects were funded. And we don't have anywhere near that live on the blockchain. So my view is, like, if I was going to become a holder of ADA and I look at these tokenomics, there needs to be a compromise. Either one, that treasury pot gets reduced significantly. I would rather the coins go, more of them go to people who are staking on the network, because they're actually doing something for the network. They're helping secure the network, rather than these coins just going to these projects that are not producing anything viable to increase the value of Cardano. Like, that's my view on it. You may disagree, and that's fine, right? Like, this is where we have conversations to understand different aspects of this and all of that. But if I was to be a ADA holder, I would want at least some instead of dilution, whatever the opposite of dilution is, right? Improvement of the coin metrics. And part of the coin metric improvement would be to get rid of some of these ADA. Either one, distribute more to stakers versus the treasury, or burn some of those coins, right? And this is, again, not coming out of your wallet. So if you see any of those comments down there, make sure you guys downvote those comments and tell them that their IQ is negative. They're below 0 IQ. So the 5 million ADA per epoch that is going into the treasury, why don't we burn 1 million of it, right? People are going to say, well, Cryptoviser, we don't want to burn those coins because, okay, they're not going to good use, in my view. Why not burn some of it? Because if they burn 1 million ADA per epoch times 6 per month, that's 6 million per month. 6 times 12 months in the year is what? Whoa, I did divide it. 6 times 12 is 72. So 72 million ADA would be burned per year with these numbers in mind. And that's just taking 20% of this taxed ADA, 20%, 1 million ADA per epoch, and burning it. Now, right now, you wouldn't see an immediate effect, I don't think, on the price. But after 1 year, 72 million ADA are burned, and then after year 2, another 72 million are burned, and then year 3, another 72 million are burned. I want you to keep in mind, 72 million ADA divided by 72 million ADA, divide that by 45 billion ADA, that's the maximum supply of Cardano, and then times it by 100, it's 0.16% of the overall supply. That's a very, very small percentage of all the ADA that's ever going to be in existence being burned per year. So you got to go through 10 years to get through 1.6% of all the ADA in existence, 10 years. So that's a very slow burn rate, but it's going to make an impact. And I believe it will somewhat offset the ADA that's being wasted away in the treasury, going to these projects that are not developing anything. And not all of them, I get it, but if we're funding 192 projects and 2 of those projects produce something, I think that's a waste of money. I would rather the money go to top level projects that have proof of concept, that have developed something on ADA already, on Cardano, right? I think that we're at that point now where these projects that are getting funded, they need to produce before they get funded. Show us what you can do, show us the product, and then we'll fund the scaling of your product. But we're not going to fund you spending 10 years figuring out your project, right? As I've showed, there were like 10 proposals for a Cardano Uber. Like, people are looking at the treasury right now as a money grab. And part of the reason they're looking at it as a money grab is because how much ADA is just being dispersed to these projects that are not delivering, and how much ADA the protocol is continuing to pump in. You can get literally 50% more rewards if you just eliminated this tax altogether. But there's no incentive to eliminate the tax, and there's no incentive to stop or slow down the treasury because people see it as a money grab. 192 projects got funded with 50 million ADA, and they're already in another funding round right now. In my view, it's just too much. It's too much. And again, we're heading into a bull market. So most people are not even going to know about any of this. Just type in on YouTube the Cryptoviser Cardano inflation, and you'll see all my videos on the inflation rate of Cardano, and it explains it really well. Now, the Smaug pool also said, also note that the percentage was changed from 5% to 20% because it was also decided to move unclaimed rewards, from my understanding, from the incentivized staking testnet back in 2019 to 2020, back to the reserve instead of to the treasury. And so this is from 2020 in the Cardano forum. It says, during the month that have preceded the Shelley mainnet, a discussion about the parameters or a ruling the blockchain was in progress. And they talk about yada, yada, yada. They said since Epoch 211, when the first reward of Epoch 209 was distributed, they noticed the Epoch reward pot had been roughly split in rewards, treasury tax, and unclaimed rewards through the following percentages. 20% treasury tax, rewards to delegators and pools 30%, and unclaimed rewards 50%. They said, again, this is back in 2020. At the moment in 2020 in ADA, they're roughly talking about the total reward pot being 39 million, the reward tax 7.8 million ADA, rewards 11.8 million ADA, and unclaimed rewards 19.5 million ADA. So this was even being talked about back in 2020. And this is going to have an effect, guys. As I showed you, this is Looker Studio, which shows you Cardano metrics. And I'm going to show you January 1 of 2021 through November of 2023. This is the circulating supply of ADA. So about 2 years, a little bit less than 2 years ago, we had 31.8 billion ADA in existence, or I should say in circulation. Circulation meaning like distributed. So we had 31.8 billion. And then in October of 2023, basically like just under 2 years later, we had 36 million. Let's do minus 36,289. That means the Cardano supply in just under 2 years increased by 4.4 billion ADA. 4.4 billion ADA. That's just the circulating supply. That's a very, very fast rate. And if you divide that by 2, because basically it's 2 years, that means that they're adding 2.2 billion ADA to the circulating supply every single year, which is higher than my analysis back in 2021, where it was about 1.5 billion per year. And so I'm not as concerned about when we're going to reach the maximum supply as I am concerned about the dilution of the price because of this increasing circulating supply. Now, I get it. The maximum supply is always going to be 45 billion. But how fast we get there is a very important thing to discuss as well. And that's why I believe that the coin burning with the current influx of new ADA that's being introduced to the circulating supply in the treasury, it's the only way. It's the only way right now, because I don't see this proposal passing because nobody's voting on these proposals except for a very small percentage of ADA. So why would they be incentivized to change the tax below 20%? So I don't think that the tax is going to lower. I don't think that the treasury distribution is going to slow down. So the only way to offset that as a holder of the coin and looking at the valuation of the coin is to have a coin burn, whether it's 20% of the treasury's distributions, or maybe it's a tax somewhere else, right? A burning of somewhere else. But there needs to be a coin burn. And that's what I think. And I want to know what you guys think down below. If you disagree, that's fine, right? We can still be friends, right? It's not the end of the world. It's part of just having a discussion and proposing different, things to improve the blockchain, improve the optics of being a holder of the coin. And let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of the video. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share the video so that we can get more people to kind of comment and give their opinions on this situation. And I'll see you guys tomorrow right here on the Cryptoviser podcast. Invest responsibly, do your own research, and as always, crypto on. These are just my opinions, not financial advice. See you tomorrow.